Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Gala. We usually look at Bitcoin first, but I'm just going to skip over that for the moment. Just note it's right around 51,500, still making higher highs and higher lows. We had a slight correction on Christmas, but now we're still on track, back on track with Bitcoin. So just note, good shape there. We in fact took a swing trade with Bitcoin here recently, and we're all take profits for as a community. So really, really good stuff. Now, with Gala, just before we jump in there, I want you to know I'm not a financial advisor, right? So if you're new to the channel, hopefully you can learn a thing or two here today. I have a trading community designed with a specific purpose of helping you become a better trader. Okay, so check that out in your own time. I actually send out signals for every single trade that I take. I am rolling out with the Trading Academy next month, and it's all doing very, very well. And it's all thanks to my amazing members. So thank you so much to you. You know who you are. I deeply appreciate you. Now, looking here at Gala, I wanted to kind of bring this to your attention really quick. Looking at the volume profile, just to throw that out there, in these 3 days of trading, the first 3 days of trading when Gala jumped up by a significant percent back on November 17th. I don't know if you were there, but I remember getting in at partially the ground floor, right? But right around 20 cents. Look at this. We have the most amount of volume even to right now in just 3 days of trading, whereas taken over 3 weeks of trading to get this amount of volume accumulation right around 48 cents. So I just find that to be interesting. The key takeaway here is the fact that we have a strong amount of volume below both, below the price action right now, right? So below, down here, of course, and up there, those are not considered to be resistance levels, right? So having a strong foundation of volume is a really good, foundational thing to understand, because it's just like building a house. You got to have a nice, sturdy, stable foundation in order to be able to build on, right? Strong, stable support means most people are in the profit and they're going to be adding to their position instead of, trying to sell for a profit. If that makes any sense, at least in the market we're in right now. In a bullish market, that's how it works. So that's essentially what we're looking at there. That's good stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to just kind of the basics. SIP moving average, we're up over 50 there. We're up over 50 on the RSI. Fantastic. We've got a MACD convergence occurring here today, which is equally as impressive and important. So that does imply that we might and should likely see a continuation of the upside. In fact, the ascending wedge pattern that I anticipated was going to break to the upside did, and that's awesome as well. We love to see that. So ultimately right now we can see the price kind of getting, tested, so to speak, or it did test 55 cents or 54 and a half. And it got rejected, right? That's a major Fibonacci retracement level, of course. That's pretty standard. It was also, a pretty strong amount of volume accumulation there as well, major resistance. So it makes perfect sense. I do foresee it continuing past there because it has that bullish momentum now. But for the most part, we can expect a slight amount of volume accumulation there and then a leg up soon. So right here is when we looked at it yesterday, and it does look like it broke to the upside, which is nice. A little sooner than I expected, but I love it, right? That's awesome. And what's this? This nice little consolidation. We got about four 4-hour candlesticks, so 16 hours worth of consolidation right at the resistance. So the likelihood of that breaking to the upside again is pretty high, right? It's kind of creating this little ascending wedge pattern forming again. So it's kind of cool. It looks really nice. Obviously, now, those are just lines on a chart. There's no guarantees, of course, but when you test a resistance level multiple times, the likelihood of it breaking through with bullish momentum on a one-day chart, for example, like the MACD, it is a more likelihood for the price to continue upwards. Another reason why I feel that way as well is because you got this nice support level created by the 200-day simple moving average. The 200-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart, in my opinion, is probably the most impactful moving average you could use. In other words, it's very strong as a resistance, as we saw here, and it's very strong as a support, which we're seeing presently. So I think the likelihood of the price breaking the upside soon is very, very high, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop below 50,000, right? Because, Bitcoin is trending around 51.5, and it's doing really well in that sense. As far as, because we were down about 12% no less than a week ago. So it's definitely increased and done very well. But on the same accord, Gala, even though it's becoming independent of Bitcoin, it's still very reliant on Bitcoin's success. It's that fear and uncertainty out in the market, and we got to acknowledge it. It's a very real thing. It's the elephant in the room. And it's dissipating, right? The elephant's getting smaller, but Gala is still relevant in the sense of needing Bitcoin to do at least average, right? If Bitcoin can go sideways, that's all we need, and Gala will increase. It's the dips, those 3 to 5% sell-offs from Bitcoin that happen in usually an hour or two's time frame. That is what causes ripples in most altcoins, such as these little decreases here. Okay. So again, not bad shape. I think Gala is mostly positive here. There's really nothing I can see that's negative. Let's in fact take a quick look at TD sequential. I think we probably got a reset. Yeah, we're down to a 1. Went up to a 6. So I don't really think we're going to see the price continue to retrace per se, but I do think that we're going to see the price maybe consolidate for another 4 to 8 hours and then leg up again. I think we're going to see a continuation here soon. In other words, up, over, up, over. I do think 60 cents will be the next target that we should consider shooting for. It'll be roughly almost a little over 12% from where it's at presently. I think it's very likely. All the signs are there as far as the technical analysis is concerned, right? Again, these are just numbers on a charts and lines and graphs, but they do tell a story, right? And that's kind of what we're trying to interpret. Now, looking at Ichimoku Cloud, let's see if we have this. Now, this is one, I wouldn't say it's a concern, but it is kind of, if we don't get a leg up soon, we're going to get a close signal, or basically a signal from the Ichimoku Cloud telling us we want to close our position, or just, again, trim your position if you want to hold on for longer, which I'd recommend. Or obviously, if this is a hodl coin and you just want to keep adding to your position, maybe dollar cost average soon before the price goes up again. But in other words, this just kind of, it's a safe indicator, right? It's telling us safely that, Gala is still worth keeping your position open. But if this line intersects with the price action, we're going to have a potential close signal. And the same thing here as well. We can see the conversion line kind of tapering off where the baseline should intersect with it perhaps soon. So if we don't get a leg up from the price in just say the next 4 hours or less, then we're going to see that door closed for the cloud. Okay. Now, not to concern you at all, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like done and over with and it's never going to continue upwards again, right? It's just more of because this being a 1 hour chart, the Ichimoku Cloud is beneficial to me the most on the 1 hour chart because it gives you indications of, I would say shorter time frames, maybe 12 to 48 hours. Like you got like these smaller windows with this. If you want a larger window, you can use the Ichimoku Cloud on the 4 hour chart and it'll give you an indication likely that we are probably in good shape to continue to hold your position for longer. Okay, but this being a shorter time frame, more micro, so you could say, then it's going to give us buy and sell signals sooner. Okay, and I like that and I prefer that because I'm more of a short-term swing trader and or day trader, right? But again, everyone's different. So just note, if you're a hodl, you're holding on for this for a while, or your target is $1 or whatever the case is. Don't worry about anything that I'm telling you right now. Just note that we're in good shape and Gala is effectively increasing and should continue to increase. But on the small term, the micro, we are in a consolidation phase. We should see the price continue to ascend upwards. It's just that the Ichimoku Cloud is kind of telling us that we're nearing the end of this little tentative run, if that makes any sense. Okay. And that's sensible, right? Because of the way that we can see on TD sequential, with a 4 hour here, we got that reset up to a 6. I like the fact that we see the simple moving average on the 4 hour chart. That's a really big deal. So to me, I'm still bullish on Gala, even though the very small time frame, so to speak, is kind of more telling us otherwise. I still think we still have plenty of room for growth. And again, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop its bottom, keep in mind that's a major catalyst here. Gala should continue to progress upwards. All the signs are there. Okay, so I hope that helped answer some of the questions here for you. And hopefully you learned a thing or two here today, of course. And if you did, comment below, of course. And if you are considering becoming a member, just know there's going to be spots available 1st of January. I do apologize. I get a lot of requests right now near the end of the month. It's to ensure you're not billed twice through Patreon, first of all. That's why we're transitioning away from it. We're going to go over to a website platform with a membership section. I'm going to have a trading academy. That'll all be rolled out near the end of January. So we're going to have things going to be very, very good here and very robust for all of my members and future members near the end of January, just so you understand that. If you're ever curious, because I know I get a lot of questions every day about, hey, when can I subscribe? We'll have new slots available first of the month, as usual. But we are going to transition and make a smoother process for my users. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. We'll take care. Bye-bye.